7 woods are all the rage in 2025, but is a Callaway Apex utility wood actually maybe better for your game? Today we're going to test the brand new 2025 model of the Callaway Apex utility wood against a Callaway Elyte 7 wood to see what those differences are and perhaps maybe see if the utility wood is actually better for your game. Master Club Fitter Tyler Fitzel is with me. 7 woods have been a big deal in 2025, Tyler. A lot of really good performance. We're seeing a lot of golfers, both new golfers, mid-handicap golfers, and even at the tour level, playing 7 woods. Why do you think that is?
There's a couple of things that are different between hybrids and fairway woods. So when you start talking about a fairway wood, you can get a little bit more launch. You've got a deeper, you've got mass that can go a little bit further back. You can get it up a little bit more. You've got a larger head that allows for a little bit more MOI and forgiveness. So it's kind of this ultimate tool of get that ball up, get it to go far, get it to stop. And we've seen the best players in the world start to put these clubs in their bag.
Yeah, and we're seeing it because they like to have that higher launch in certain scenarios. Much more height, much more spin, and stopping power as well that these golfers can get. So now I got to ask you about the utility woods. So I mean, the first one was released in 2021, super high ball speeds, very explosive, and a lot of people were very impressed. This is now the 3rd iteration of it. What have you seen from this? What have you been most impressed with? And then also, what might we see today in this test compared to a 7 wood?
Well, we're also looking at the same idea with this because it's trying to blend a hybrid and a fairway wood together. But this usually offers more control. And I say that because it's got a shorter shaft. It is the same loft. It's a little bit of a smaller head. You probably have some more use out of it. Could have been could be a bunker, could be the fairway, could be the rough, could be a tee box. You can do the same with something like a 7 wood, but that's going to be a lot easier to do all of those things with.
Sure. Okay, well, what we're going to do is going to have you swing a few times today with each. Again, the same loft, both at 21 degrees. As you mentioned, the shaft is going to be a little different, and it's also going to be different in length as well, just because of the playing length, as you mentioned, a fairway wood versus kind of a hybrid type club. But I'm very intrigued to see what we find out today.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so Tyler, we'll start with the Elyte 7 wood. We talked a little bit about kind of the specs and 21 degrees. This is sort of the standard, I guess, 7 wood length that they offer. And of course, it is a bonded hosel as well. So in terms of adjusting and stuff, we couldn't really do that.
But so is the UW.
But yeah, the UW is bonded as well. So we're a little bit limited in that regard. But nonetheless, I think this will show some pretty big differences.
And there is something to that, too, in terms of the shaft stability, right? So it's like this piece, when it's bonded, is very stable, and that plays into part of the shaft as well. So, well, let's see what we can do with something like this. I had a 7 wood a long time ago. That might be a little left.
Okay.
Just a little
bit left.
And it was a Callaway. It was the original Warbird.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was one of those where I got that and played it for probably about 10 years. Loved it. Really loved it. A little off on the toe there. Or a lot off on the toe.
That's actually very interesting that on those 2 swings, I know they were very different in terms of the flight and where they ended up.
Yeah.
But your spin and your carry were almost the exact same on those.
Interesting.
I mean, it could have been closer in those 2.
My spin rate was 7 RPMs different.
Yeah. So I mean, in that regard,
that's good.
There's some consistency there.
That's really good.
That one felt like and sounded a little bit better. Yeah.
That was a little bit more crisp.
Okay.
There we go.
So now, I asked you this in a previous video that we did on Apex UWs, but what would you anticipate for like a distance, any distance or spin or launch or anything? What would you anticipate with a 7 wood here?
Well, I'd like something around 20 degrees like this to go somewhere around that 200 mark.
Okay.
And then it's really about the launch and spin after that in terms of getting it to stop maybe a little bit quicker. So if, playing something where it's been dry for a long time, it's rolling out, I might want something that's actually that goes a little higher with a little bit more spin.
Right.
So even having some choices would be nice. As I say is, I can fit 20 clubs, right? But we just only carry 14 at a time.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, that's a very common thing for pro players is to have, maybe those pro players carry with them 15 or 16 clubs and then just make decisions based on the round or the tournament. It's another good ball there.
Yeah, that actually, I like this. It's got a little bit of a muted feel. I think the Elite lineup, especially with the new speed wave that they've implemented in terms of getting weight forward, and then also the step pattern that they have on the bottom of the
and actually you'll see that with this Apex utility wood as well.
Yeah.
There's kind of this step feature there. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar where there's that step sole, and also the speed wave is kind of packed in there a little tighter on the utility wood shape, but still there.
A thing for me too is like visually, like I'm a little bit off in terms of the darker face with the white lines. I'd prefer to have nothing, or to have it all one color.
Sure,
would be more my preference to it.
Interesting.
So when I look down at this, I can see the lines. That doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
it might for some people though. I thought I felt like I hit that pretty solid.
Okay.
Didn't see that going out to the right, but.
So that's interesting too, because that carry number, the spin was very different on that one, but this carry number was still pretty much in your window there.
Yeah, it was. So I haven't really deviated a whole lot from that. I had one that was really short, but. Skinny.
Okay.
Skinny.
That's kind of the miss, so to speak, when you
it had
and low in the face.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it's just something about me or where the lines are for this, but I normally hit this a lot straighter. That's a little interesting. All right, let's try one more.
Well, and I will say one thing you noted right at the beginning was that this club, you know, in some ways it's easier to control because it probably has a little more launch, a little more spin, right? But on the other side, this is what you noted, is that it's also a longer shaft. And so because of that, it's a little harder to square up right and get this, you know, your swing numbers and your swing path on plane.
Yeah.
Typically going to be more inconsistent there. It's always, you know, the longest club and the least lofted clubs are the ones that are the hardest to hit straight.
Right.
So from that regard, it's also maybe tougher to control than what you'll have with the Apex UW.
Yep.
So let's see what we got here in terms of our numbers. There's our dispersion there. We got 7 swings up there, and we can kind of maybe narrow that down. I know there's a couple that you didn't love up there for sure. I guess overall, what did you just think about the 7-wood? I mean, again, you're not playing one now. You've played one before.
What I played before, it was like, this is one of the things that is a great conversation point to have as we start talking about this, is what's going to happen in the fitting bay versus what goes outside. I had a 7-wood. The last time I had a 7-wood, the size of that thing, I have hybrids bigger than that now.
Right, yeah.
Right? So when you go back in time and you start looking at the size of the driver, how they got bigger and they've continued to get to their legal size, same thing with fairway woods, is now all of a sudden we sort of say, a few years ago, well, instead of having just a 3-wood, why don't we make a mini driver? So they just expanded it, and even like Titleist right now has the GT280, which is, it's a fairway wood. It takes a fairway shaft. It's a fairway loft. That's
just a little deeper face, basically.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I find so intriguing, and I think this is a great combination to put together. Is I think the UW is going to present a little bit more consistency for me.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to see a ton of difference out of it in terms of its numbers.
Okay.
But so for me,
maybe this dispersion shrinks a little bit for you.
Yeah, for me personally, what I feel with this club is too long in my hand for the distance I want to hit it.
Sure. Yeah, because we've got all 7 shots. That's our dispersion, right? I did, you know, obviously again, what we like to do sometimes is, you know, take the best, you know, maybe 5 or 6 of these, right, and do the kind of our comparison, so to speak.
Yeah.
So like for example, you know, this would be, you know, to me kind of the outlier shot there. You can look at these numbers here in particular. But I think, you know, there's a very clear 4 really good swings here, right? That would probably be considered your stock swing or stock shot with this club, right? I mean, right, and those ones are all in that high 190s for carry, 199, 199, 197, 196, and then it's sort of like your misses are basically all 187. So there, in that regard, there's kind of you know what to expect a little bit out of the club. You know, it's gonna, and then also we'll have to pay attention to some launch and some height numbers as well, because those are going to change, I would imagine, with this other club. Your average height there at
that's right. And that's one of the things about this is, so for instance, if I come in and I said, hey, I really need to get some more launch, I'm going to carry this about 200 yards. That's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
But I needed 200 yards up in the air. I don't need 200 yards low to the ground.
Right.
because low to the ground when I need to carry something is not going to help me in any sense.
Yep.
So I'm going to put something that is going to get me a little bit more launch to it. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't use this off a tee yet, which definitely would have got a little bit more as it's on a tee. But the other side of it is we're basically trying to take every technology we've got in this club and maximize it. That's one of the reasons. Like, this is a phenomenal tool.
Yeah.
It's become super popular. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, this is people should really, really, really. If you haven't ever tried one of these, you should absolutely try.
Yeah, and there's a reason, as you mentioned, it's taking over, and we're seeing, more 7-woods fit into the bags of players, of all kinds of players, more than ever this year. It's been phenomenal to see.
Nice and crisp too.
Yeah. So now we're going to switch. So again, this is the 2025 Callaway Apex UW that we're switching to here. Before hitting any shots, I just want to get your thoughts on, there's clearly a difference in the appearance of the club and address and the size and stuff. So talk to me about what you see there.
I love the length already. So I set this down. I feel like I have more control with it right in here.
Yeah.
And that to me is one of the things I'm looking for. I'm pretty much going to hit this 200 yards in the air. I already know that. It's a pretty solid hit. The question for me is, what does the launch and spin do? And what does the dispersion do?
Yeah.
Right. We talk about this all the time: ball speed, launch, spin, and dispersion. Those are the things we're trying to tackle with this. So generally, I have a 21-degree hybrid right now. It normally is carrying in that 200, but it's still coming in a little too flat.
Okay.
I think it has to do with shaft. I still have a steel shaft in my hybrid.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's one of the things is, like, I need something different.
Okay.
And this might be a great replacement for that.
Yeah. Maybe this is the difference, because again, this is a little bit of a blend between a fairway wood and a hybrid.
Right.
Right away, we're seeing that distance is right in that window. That's a very efficient one too. You actually surpassed.
How's the smash factor?
Yeah, I know. We actually surpassed 1.5
illegal
on that one. Yeah. That's a pretty good ball.
It's just, there's something about the control aspect of this.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
And for you also mentally, it could be part of just a confidence thing too. Like I'm used to the shorter club at this with this this part of the bag, shorter than a 7-wood.
What I would even do with my hybrids is they're actually just a little bit shorter as well. So they actually have a lightweight iron shaft in them, and they play to the length of what would be a 4-iron and a 3-iron.
Yeah.
That's the way that I play them. So. There's also just something a little bit about the ease.
Yeah.
Through here. So for me, I found something that has is very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to note too. You've mentioned kind of a control thing, a confidence thing. You've gone 150 smash factor with your first two here.
Yeah, I did it again.
Technically 151 with that first one. So you're hitting this thing very, very efficiently. Yeah, look at that.
Again. Yeah. It just fits. It's a great window. It just sits in a really good. It just sits in a really good spot in terms of what I can feel with my swing. And this is the reason you go get fitted.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. We can try 4 or 5 different models, and all of a sudden this model is really good.
There's one that clicks.
Yeah. But I also like it for its dispersion too. It's not. I'm not really far off. Now that was off the toe. So
all right, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, this is okay. Wow, look how straight that is going.
Yeah, not planned. That was not a. I do not have the ability to plan for shots off the toe.
Well, and one thing I want to note too, and we're still, again, we got a couple shots to hit here, but your miss hits with the 7-wood were all in that 187 range, right?
Yes.
In terms of carry number, that was 192 on that miss. So the first 3 you hit were like absolutely almost perfect contact, and so. Again, that's just, I wanted to make note of that. We have a couple more swings here, but I know part of the equation always is going to be what the club does when you don't hit it perfect.
Yeah, it is. What's the miss look like?
That's another one that's hit really well.
Yep.
That one actually went over 200 yards.
Mm-hmm. I told you I really like my hybrids.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah. That was off the toe as well.
All right. Well, we get another chance to see. Yeah. Again, You didn't lose any distance.
Nope, good toe shot. All right.
Let's see, is that 7 with each? Oh, let's get one more with this one. We technically had 7 with the other one.
All right, so we're going to go for try to carry it to 10.
Oh, are we now?
Yeah, well, I mean, might as well, right?
That was hit well.
There.
And that's your best swing of the day.
Well, it's, it was okay.
I don't know if it gets better than that.
It's not. Yeah, it is. You could put Kevin Kraft in here.
Well.
There's a nod to Kevin Kraft.
So, these, and again, with the 7 wood, I took one out, so we'll probably grab, man, you hit it too good. Or
I think, I think the last one is the one that you take out.
You're probably right. I mean, this
just
is
because
you stepped on it a little bit, you swung 4 miles an hour faster. Yeah,
I did. But it also, it helps show us a little bit more about what I was talking about. The consistency for me in something like this.
Yeah. I mean, you can see, first of all, the dispersion.
Yep.
And how, I like to call it the north and south dispersion, right? But basically, the variance in your carry distance, you can see it by the shape of the oval, is much better, it's tighter, more consistent than the Elite 7 wood. And then there's a certain, confidence level for you where the smash factor was so consistently near 150.
Yeah.
And again, that's not going to carry over for every player. Not every player is going to step up to a utility wood or a shorter club and just automatically get this sort of extra boost of confidence the way you did. But I think it's worth noting that you mentioned it right away. Sometimes a shorter club or a shorter shaft is a little easier to control.
Yeah.
Despite maybe all these benefits that 7 woods have been giving players all year long, which is that's also a pretty long list of benefits, right? So, worth noting.
So we talk about a couple of different things. We talk about a fairway wood generally having a little bit more launch.
Yep.
Yes, it did.
Yes.
We also talk about a fairway wood maybe being a little bit longer for some more club speed. Yes, it was. When we look at what I was doing with it, though, this as the UW was, for me, it fit better because of the shorter nature.
Yep.
The kind of more compact. I feel better with it. I feel more control with it. I swung the club slower, but hit the ball better.
Yeah.
And even from a ball speed perspective, we can see
Yep.
I actually had more ball speed with this, with less club speed. And that's one of the reasons why the smash factor, the efficiency factor is there.
Mm-hmm.
But this feels more comfortable. That's why you have to try these things. This is a 7 wood.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hybrid 7 wood, but it's a 7 wood.
Yeah, it's the same loft.
Yeah.
And for you,
yeah.
I mean, even we can take a look at it. The carry number is so close, right?
Yep.
And you were saying you want something that carries in that 200 range, pretty darn close. And so I think what it comes down to, I think you have your verdict here, is that if you had to pick between one of these, you're going to go with the Apex utility wood. It was more consistent for you. You were hitting the ball way more efficiently, better contact, and that's, some of the length of it, some of the look of it all mattered there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to gloss over the fact that if you are a player that wants more height, more spin, more launch from this club in the bag, or maybe you need that, maybe you're already a low launch player, the 7 wood did generate 17 feet higher average peak height.
Yep.
The spin was 700 RPM higher. Launch
Correct.
was 1.5 degrees, almost 2 degrees higher. So
Yes.
that stuff also does matter. And if that's something that you need as a golfer, the 7 wood probably still is the better club.
And so it's just whether or not I need it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's player dependent in a sense. I think we say for you, Tyler, today, the Apex UW did perform better. But golfers, if you need to get fit, or maybe you're interested in a 7 wood or in the 2025 Apex UW, come see us at Second Swing. Schedule a fitting with one of our experts like Tyler. We'll get you dialed in, and it could be the Apex UW like it was for Tyler today, or maybe it is a 7 wood for your game. So, Tyler, thank you so much. This is a good test here. Some pretty big differences, I think.
Pretty awesome. Thanks.